I'm Zoe Watson, Senior Account Manager at Transition Partners, and I'm here today with Becky O'Farrell, Digital Recruitment Partner at Covea Insurance. We're here today to have a quick chat about some of Becky's experience as an internal recruiter and as an agency recruiter, and what she's found working with different agencies and in different roles. So thank you for joining us, Becky. Could you give us a little bit of background of where you've come from, what type of roles you've been involved with, and where you are now?
Yeah, of course. So I started my career in recruitment straight from university. So kind of fell into it really, like a lot of people do. My first role was as a researcher in executive search. So that was a really good kind of basis, really. Taught me a lot of the key skills, a lot about good process and good practices. After a couple of years in that role, excuse me, I decided I'd like to move into internal recruitment. I think it sort of suited me better. I wasn't kind of really about the sales and things like that, which my next step in that job would have meant. Yeah. So I ended up taking a role in technology recruitment at Sky Betting and Gaming. Absolutely loved working there. Spent, I think, getting on for 18 months, working across a number of verticals at Sky Bet. Then I actually moved back into agency for a short time. Again, tech recruitment, where I got to work with loads of brilliant sort of companies across kind of Yorkshire and Manchester. And from there, I then moved to my current role at Covea Insurance.
Amazing. So you must have learnt so much along the way, especially working for such big brands like Sky Betting and Gaming, you know, where they're sort of known for hiring brilliant talent. It must have given you, you know, such a good background for what you're doing now, especially moving into somewhere that are doing such a big digital rebrand. You know, you know, definitely know the types of guys that they need on board
definitely.
there.
And managed to work with some really good people in those companies as well, which I've learned a lot from, which is really good.
Great. So from your perspective, what are the pros and cons of working for an agency and as an internal recruiter? What do you think the sort of best and worst bits are about both?
Yeah, so from a job that they both sound so similar, I think outside the world of recruitment, you would probably think they're essentially the same job. They are really different. So I think, and there's things that I like and don't like quite so much about both. So I think being an agency, one of the biggest pros is that the sort of huge variety of roles that you get to work and the different clients that you get to work for really keeps things interesting. You're always learning about, you know, different tech stacks, and you're always having to sort of look into the different companies, their values, everything like that. So it keeps it nice and varied. I think one of the biggest cons about agency, which is one of the reasons why I decided to move back in-house, is that I really missed being kind of part of the actual business that I was delivering work for, and being part of that, and having those direct relationships with the hiring managers, with those candidates that you're bringing in, and kind of being part of that business, being part of those values and everything like that. So I guess that's one of the biggest pros when it comes to being in-house. I love being able to see the results of my work, actually seeing the people coming in and doing great things.
I bet that's lovely.
And I really like the breadth of the internal recruiter role. So it's everything from, you know, the actual hands-on sourcing still, but then being involved in everything from resource planning to kind of employer branding, diversity initiatives, events, loads more. And I think it's really the breadth of that which I really love. I think probably one of the biggest cons about being in-house is that, you know, if you get a really hard to fill role, it's still there until it's filled.
You can't decide not to work that,
can you? Decide not to work it. The pressure from the business is on your shoulders, and it's your responsibility to get it done at the end of the day. You can't kind of just say pass, which is probably one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Okay, and from doing both roles then, what now do you see in an agency that you really like to work with? Like what gives you a a really good feeling about an agency, and what sort of adds value to you and the business that they can provide?
Yeah, of course. I think one of there's a few things that I look for actually when partnering with an agency. So I think initially you obviously just have to be able to get on with that
Yeah.
person. You work really closely with them. So I kind of like to see the agencies as a bit of an extension of our internal team. You know, we're quite a small internal recruitment function, quite new, and so I'm the only person responsible for tech recruitment. And so those agencies, you know, I speak with them multiple times a day, every day. So I think just being able to have that relationship in the first instance is really important. But then there's a few kind of absolute basics I think that the agencies need to be able to do to be able to work together successfully. So the ability to follow a process and communicate is absolutely key. So really need an agency who can follow the processes that we've put in place to allow everything to run smoothly and efficiently. And really, I think regular and open communication is one of the important things for that. And then if an agency is working our roles, they're really representing us to the candidate market. So they need to, it's just absolutely essential that their candidate experience is, you know, is as good as we're trying to give the candidates who are coming direct as well. So it's really important that they know how to look after their candidates. And again, kind of that communication is an absolute vital part of that. And then probably I also like to think about the extra value add bits as well. So things like podcasts, events, things like this. They're all the little things that, you know, it's not necessarily part of the everyday helping us to fill our roles, but it really does help improve our employer awareness in the candidate market. So that's something else that agencies can really look to do to just help us a little bit more.
Yeah, I suppose that feeds back into that sort of partnership piece, doesn't it? As you're all working together, you know, we like to see ourselves as a bit of an extension of your business. You know, like you say, we always want to represent, you know, Covea to the best that we can, you know, and I suppose give the candidates the best experience. So it is that, isn't it? Like open communication, working in partnership, like you said. Yeah, that's brilliant. And how's your role changed sort of through the pandemic? Obviously, it's a hot topic at the moment. How's things changed for you? And is there anything that you're keen to take on board with you moving forward?
So I'm really lucky actually that I've continued working as pretty much normal throughout the lockdown. I've been really busy recruiting in digital just as we were before. Obviously, the main difference is that we're all working from home. Which can come with its challenges. You know, it can be harder just to try ask a quick 2-minute question. You can't just go grab someone. But I think we've done a really good job of we've adapted really well, especially as a whole business really, but especially when it comes to recruitment. We've still been interviewing remotely, onboarding, offering, you know, we've still brought loads of people in throughout the last 3 months. And it's quite strange, really, that we've hired people who've been working with us for a few months now. We've not seen them. They've not seen the offices. So we've been really lucky, actually, that a lot of that has been able to continue pretty much normally. Obviously, the role has changed. I've actually found myself with a little bit more time as well, which means I've been able to dedicate that to more of the hands-on sourcing, which I've actually really enjoyed, being able to get stuck into that again, helping increase our direct hires. And I think there's a few things really that I want to carry on as we go back to whatever normal is going to be. So I'm going to really prioritise making sure I leave some time for that hands-on sourcing, because we're sort of starting to see the benefits of that already, but also having this flexibility to work from home. That's something that we're looking to continue. Now we know we can work. We had a bit of flexibility beforehand, but now we know we can work fully remotely. It's something that we're going to really make the most of. And I have quite a commute into the Halifax offices, so if I'm going in less, I'm going to have so much more time, which is really nice. I don't think I've ever slept so much in my life. It's nice not having to get up like an hour earlier just to drive
the early mornings, won't it?
Oh, I know, but really lucky, really. I think a lot of the you know, it's been a bit of a pain. It's not been a nice experience to go through, has it? But actually, I think there's a lot of positives
take from it,
that
yeah.
we're going to be able to take
I
from
think
it,
it's
yeah.
good that you've like used it as an opportunity to see where you can benefit as a company from it, haven't you? Rather than it, you know, like you said, just being focused on the negatives. It's been seen as a really good opportunity, which
Yeah,
is
and I think it's just
fantastic.
been a good time to kind of reflect and reprioritize and stuff as well, and
Yeah.
just work out, well, what should I be spending all my time on, rather than kind of being swept up in meeting after meeting and things like that. So yeah.
No, that's brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been really good to catch up with you, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.